Something is changing in Hungary, and I think home gardeners everywhere should take notice. It's a shift in how we see the earth beneath our feet, and it's happening right now in the fields around me. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Diary of an Organic Grower. Over the past few months, I've noticed something changing here in Hungary. It isn't about a new fertilizer, it isn't about another miracle product, it's about something much simpler, the soil. Recently, I've been reading that Hungarian farmers who receive agricultural subsidies are increasingly expected to keep their soil covered during important periods of the year. Whether that's because of environmental policy, climate change, or simply better science isn't really the point. What interests me is something much bigger, because keeping the soil covered is something many organic gardeners have quietly been doing for decades. It's a principle of life, not just policy. For many years, gardeners naturally copied commercial farming. We looked at what was happening on the large scale and tried to replicate it in our own backyards. That meant bare soil, frequent cultivation, perfectly weed-free beds. It looked tidy, but it was a constant battle against nature's desire to cover itself. And of course, it meant a heavy reliance on synthetic fertilizers and pesticides to keep those bare beds productive and free of the life we called weeds. Now, I'm not saying gardeners were wrong. Commercial farming represented the best available knowledge at the time. It was the gold standard we all looked up to. However, farming and gardening have very different objectives. Farmers have to produce food economically over hundreds of hectares to feed the masses. Gardeners have the opportunity to think differently. We have the luxury of time and scale to focus on individual beds and small patches of earth. We can build healthier soil, we can encourage wildlife, we can experiment, learn from nature, and grow food in a completely different, more resilient way. It's about fostering an ecosystem beneath the surface. When we stop fighting the soil, it starts working for us in ways we never imagined. My own garden has gradually changed over recent years. It's been a journey of observation and adaptation rather than a sudden shift in philosophy. I realized that every time I exposed the soil, I was inviting stress into the system. The heat, the wind, the rain, they all take a toll on bare earth. Instead of exposing soil, many of my beds are now protected. I use straw, which is plentiful here in the Hungarian countryside after the harvest. I also use grass clippings from the paths, chopped weeds that haven't gone to seed, and our own homemade compost to keep things covered. These changes weren't inspired by social media or fashion. They came from simply watching what happened in the garden when the sun beat down. I noticed cooler soil and much better moisture retention. I saw more earthworms than ever before, thriving in the cool, dark space under the mulch. Increased organic matter leads to healthier plants, and crucially, much less watering during our extreme Hungarian heat waves in July and August. This brings me back to the changes I've noticed in the agriculture around me. It's a fascinating trend that's scaling up beyond the garden gate. I see crop residues increasingly left on the fields. Modern machinery is now designed to chop stubble and return it directly back into the earth as protection. Reports suggest Hungarian farmers receiving support are expected to protect their soil. This isn't a criticism, it's a recognition of our shared climate reality. Farmers and gardeners now face the same challenges: hotter summers, longer dry periods, and sudden heavy rainfall that can wash away decades of topsoil. Healthy soil benefits everyone. For years, gardeners copied farming. Now, perhaps we're reaching a point where farming is rediscovering these organic principles. I don't think farmers are copying gardeners. I simply think we're all arriving at the same inevitable conclusion. Healthy soil needs constant protection. Compare this with nature. Look at woodland floors or natural grasslands. Nature almost never leaves soil exposed to the sky if it can help it. Nature has been quietly teaching us this lesson all along. We're only just starting to listen and apply it at a scale that can make a difference. One of the reasons I built the Your Growing Companion app was because gardening is changing faster than ever. The old rules don't always apply. The advice many of us grew up with doesn't always match the climate we're gardening in today. We need better data and a way to track our own garden's pulse. The app helps gardeners make better decisions through seasonal guidance, weather alerts, and by keeping a record of what actually works in your specific patch. Every garden is unique. The app simply helps you understand yours better. If you'd like to explore it, you'll find a link in the description below. The story isn't really about Hungarian subsidies or farming machinery. It's about recognizing that healthy soil is becoming more valuable than ever before. Whether you grow food on a balcony, an allotment, or across hundreds of hectares, everything we do begins with the life beneath our feet. Perhaps the biggest lesson isn't that farming is changing. Perhaps it's that nature has been showing us the answer all along, waiting for us to notice. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. Have you changed the way you garden over the last few years? Are you using more mulch than you used to? Please let me know in the comments, because I genuinely enjoy reading about your experiences and observations wherever you are in the world. Finally, I hope you'll join me for the next diary. Over the past few weeks, we've experienced one of the worst beetle infestations I've ever seen here. I'll show you exactly what happened, the damage they caused, and how we managed to protect our crops without abandoning our organic principles. It's a story of resilience and difficult decisions. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you very soon.